Scratch. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our reading of Quarantine Theater Company doing Speed. Dun 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 dun. Boom 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 boom. Dun 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 dun. All right. Anyway, yeah, some heavy jams there back in the 90s. Anyway, let's get this bus on the road and introduce our cast and crew. First and foremost, we've got Kate with us doing our sassy scene description as usual. As Detective Jack Traven, Keanu is George. Um, I'm Anne, and I will be playing Annie. Ooh, big stretch for me there.
I know
Jennifer
that
is
name.
going to be our big bad tonight, and I'm so excited for it. Howard Payne slash Fisk. Ooh. And Jared is with us. He's going to be our Detective Harry Temple. And we also have Travis, and he's going to be our McMahon and Bagwell. And as always, several of us are playing multiple roles. So please enjoy. And without further ado, Jesus, I need to learn words. All right, I'm going to turn my camera off. Kate, go.
Speed. Fade in. Exterior office building twilight. A high-rise in downtown LA, framed tall against the mountains. People stream out of the front door, leaving work. Cut to interior basement. In the near darkness of basement, a security guard makes his way to an inner cellar. His flashlight finds a man in work clothes bent over a panel, his back to the light.
Hey, this area is restricted.
The man doesn't look around. We can just almost see his face as he talks.
Yeah, I got called in. Some of this wiring got screwed up.
Nobody called it down to me. I'm gonna have to see a work order.
Yeah, just 1 second.
Close up on his hand. He reaches into his toolbox. He rises, turning, and a knife is shoved through his ear. It's pulled back out with calm efficiency. The man turns, wide-eyed, hand to his ear, mouth open in silent protest. Out of his hand drops the work order. He slumps over and dies. Howard Fisk takes off the guard's hat, dripping knife aside. He is an ordinary-looking man. His face is dead calm, only his eyes betraying the sea of hate behind it. He drags the body into a dark corner, grabbing a duffel bag from out of the shadows. Then, checking his watch, he goes to a panel and begins making adjustments of his own. We pan over to the door of the panel. It reads, elevators. Cut to interior office tower, elevator bank, 42nd floor. It's the end of the day and people are waiting for the elevator. The doors open. It's already crowded inside. People groan, shuttle on. A young executive moos. A few people laugh. Interior elevator. The young executive's friend presses the lobby button, even though it's already lit, dude. The young executive nods.
Thanks for pushing that, Bob. You never know. The light's on, but maybe it's really broken.
Oh, shut up.
A sweaty man, 50s, overweight, presses tighter into the corner beside his secretary. Pats at his brow with his hanky. Interior elevator shaft. The elevator descends quickly. Elevator cables. Something wired to the cables just above the elevator car. A slab of white putty, a black box, wires. A small red light flashes on the black box a split second before it explodes. The cables whip and snap up the shaft like retreating snakes. Interior elevator shaft, blackout.
What the hell?
Interior elevator shaft. The elevator drops fast. The voices yell. Emergency brakes pop out, dig into the ratchets in the shaft walls, sparks shoot out. The elevator shudders to a halt.
Jesus, Bob. What button did you press?
Smash cut to exterior, outside of the building, evening. A car comes screeching to a halt near the front of the building, a red and blue light flashing on top. The door is thrown open and SWAT officer Jack Tavern steps out from behind the wheel almost before the car has stopped. Jack heads straight for the entrance as Harry Temple, his older partner, gets out the other side and follows. Tossing Jack his flak jacket, Jack puts it on without ever taking his eyes off the entrance as they make their way through police cars, fire trucks, and various uniforms. We see these two are a team and that when they move, Jack takes the lead. We're still tracking with Jack and Harry as we see two more SWAT guys emerge from another car, fall into step. Another team joins them as they enter the lobby. Just as another pair burst in through another set of doors, finally 8 SWAT members all wordlessly sync, walking with Jack and Harry until the whole unit stands in front of Captain Herb McCannon, 40s, on the phone, Norwood. His technical assistant looks at blueprints with Bagwell, a middle-aged guy with building maintenance supervisor on his work suit. Then McMahon hangs up the phone, addresses the group.
What we have is 15 people on the express elevator just below floor 30. Included among them is Louis Trimman, chairman of NATEC and owner of this building. Bomb took out the cables. Bomber wants $3 million, or he blows the emergency brakes.
What's our clock?
He gave 1 hour, which leaves us with 23 minutes exactly.
Anything else that'll stop the elevator from falling?
Basement.
That's the truth. The city is looking to avoid that event. They're going to release the money.
We can't just unload the passengers.
Bombers wired the elevator doors, and the hatch to trigger the bomb, which seats him in the crazy but not stupid section.
Harry volunteers to examine the device.
Right.
Fine. You two check it out.
Nearest floor access panels on the 32nd floor in the hall by the store.
I want reports only. We're in a holding pattern. Worthy Briggs, secure the base area. No one in or out the back. The rest of you confirm building evac. Move.
What about the other elevators?
I'm in emergency. All passenger cars go to the nearest floor and shut down.
Like we're walking.
Cut to interior stairwell. Combat boots thunder up a metal staircase. Jack and Harry sprint up the stairs. Cut to interior elevator shaft. Blackness. Sounds of a power drill muffled through a wall. A 3 by 3 foot metal access panel is lifted away. Light enters the shaft. Jack and Harry crawl through this and stand on top of the elevator. Jack addressing the passengers while Harry checks out the bomb. Jack has to raise his voice to be heard.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the LAPD. There's been an elevator malfunction. Just relax and we'll have you out of there as soon as possible.
Harry stands and gives Jack a significant look.
Am I lying?
Confirm on the secondary device, C4, molded to the brakes. What do you think?
You're the expert. I just work here.
Pretty solid.
Anyone we know?
I don't recognize the work, but he's a pro.
Trevin Table, hold position. We're waiting to hear back from him. Stay on idle.
Jack looks at his watch.
Shit.
They're cutting it close.
I don't like it.
What's to like? Max said hold, we hold.
But Jack is getting real fidgety now. He looks at his watch again.
Okay, pop quiz hotshot. Terrorist in a crowded room, 5 pounds of dynamite. He's got a dead man's stick. He lets go. It blows.
How close am I?
20 feet.
Taser. Put enough volts in him, he won't let go for an hour.
50 feet.
Nice try. Blow me.
Okay, airport. Gunman with 1 hostage, using her for cover. He's almost on a plane. You're 100 feet away. Jack?
Jack is looking at the access panel. There's a moment before he comes back to Harry's train of thought, and then...
Shoot the hostage.
What?
Take her out of the equation. Go for the good wound and he can't get to the plane with her. Clear shot.
You're deeply nuts, Jack. Shoot the hostage.
This is wrong. He's going to blow it anyway.
Why?
I don't know. Gut feeling.
Well, right now Max still outranks your gut, so here we sit.
How much you think that elevator weighs?
Jack?
Jack starts out of the shaft and Harry follows.
Maybe we can do something about those hostages.
We're not going to shoot him, right?
Cut to exterior roof desk. Jack bursts out of the roof access door and starts looking for something. Harry follows him, and Jack runs over to the edge of the roof where there is now a winch used by window washers, large and heavy duty.
No, we just take him out of the equation.
Interior elevator, same time. The passengers, white with terror, fidget. Interior elevator housing shed. Jack and Harry lug cable from the winch into the elevator housing on the roof.
You sure it'll hold?
It'll hold. It'll hold.
Harry looks at his watch.
6 minutes.
Cut to interior lobby, same time. Captain McMahon paces with his walkie-talkie, talking to the brass at City Hall.
We can't get any more time. He's not talking. We need goddamn money now.
Cut to interior, another place, same time. Fisk has a radio set up. It's listening on the various police changes. He suddenly hears the sounds of Harry and Jack echoing from down the elevator shaft.
Pop quiz hotshot. Psycho rigs an elevator to drop 3 stories.
Cut to interior elevator shaft. Jack is being lowered headfirst on a rope down the center of the shaft. He holds the window washing cable with a look on its end. He and Harry are speaking through their microphones.
What do you do?
Something else, right?
He continues down. The elevator approaches. Jack comes to the elevator car. He signals and Harry stops. Jack looks leery at the C4 by his feet and quietly secures the hook to part of the elevator's frame.
Tell me again, Harry, why did I take this job?
Come on. 30 more years of this and you get a tiny pension and a cheap gold watch.
Cool.
Another place. Fisk listens. What are they up to? Housing shed. Harry looks down on the shaft one more time and runs out to the roof. Harry runs over to the window washing winch. He flips a switch and the winch starts pulling in the cable. In the shaft, Jack watches as the extra cable starts unspooling and pulls up. He starts climbing for the access panel. On the roof, the winch spools in a cable. Interior housing shed. Harry looks down at the elevator. Another place, Fisk listens, hears the winch faintly. He fingers a small box with a plastic button and a timer counting down. 3 minutes left. We notice that the hand fingering the box is missing its thumb. The hand starts moving more agitatedly. Fisk's face registers growing concern. 2 minutes, 53 seconds. With sudden violence, he jabs the button. In the elevator, Jack takes one final look down. There's still a bunch of slack cable lying on the elevator. On the bottom, a tiny red light comes on. Without hesitation, Jack hurls himself through the access panel as the bomb blows. In the elevator, the passengers scream and the elevator shakes as it begins to drop. On the roof, the cable snaps tight. In the housing shed, it nearly sliced Harry in two. He dives to the floor. The elevator plummets, comes to an abrupt stop, springs slightly to the cable. In the lobby near the elevator bank, everyone is listening to the twanging of the cable echoing down the shaft.
Usually, they fall down.
Interior hall. Harry bursts in from the stairs.
He's early.
Get him off.
Exterior roof of the window washing winch. The weight on the cable is starting to pull it from its foundation. It groans and starts to crack. It can't bear this weight for long. The wheels start to come off the track, and then with a loud bang, the winch breaks free, flies across the roof, and comes to a stop at the door to the elevator machine room. In the hall, Jack and Harry look at each other and bolt. Another floor, Jack and Harry emerge from the stairs and race over to the elevator access panel.
Mac, we need people on 28 now.
The window washing winch gives a bit more under the strain of the cable. The elevator drops a few inches and people yell, gasp, and cry. Jack and Harry get the last screw out of another access panel. They can see the bottom 2 feet of the elevator doors. With a grunt, they pry open the doors and people's feet and the sounds of panic.
On the floor. Hands and knees.
Down on
Let's
your
move
hands.
it.
Come on out.
A woman lies down. Jack and Harry grab her hands and pull her out. Then another. They pull out the CEO.
What the hell is all this?
2 more SWAT guys arrive and help pull. The winch, about to break free. Jack and Harry pull out 2 more people. The window washing winch rips through the door frame, wedges against an engine. The elevator drops sharply. Oh God, but then it stops. Now with only the top 3 feet of the elevator showing, the cable is being held by what's left of the platform. Some slats of splintering wood and lengths of bending metal, it's giving way slowly, an inch at a time. Jack and Harry now pull people up to get them out. They see the elevator sinking. The opening is closing. 2.5 feet. 2 feet. They have one woman to pull out. She's halfway, her leg's still in. The cable pulls free as the mass of wood and metal finally gives way. The elevator drops. Jack and Harry pull the woman as hard as they can, and the huge metal box flies down, shooting out sparks. Her legs sliding out as the top of the car races down on them. She's not going to make it. Elevator shaft. The elevator drops like a rock. Trailing cable, it drops so far that it disappears from sight. A huge sound when it hits the bottom. In the main lobby, McMahon and his other SWAT and bomb guys are almost knocked off their feet by the impact reverberating throughout the building. Elevator doors in the lobby buckle out from the air concussion. In the hall, the woman, terrified, looks down at her legs. The elevator just clipped off her high heel. Jack and Harry exchange a look. The other SWAT guys usher the rescued passengers to the stairwell as Jack and Harry lean against the wall, a little out of breath.
Is your watch slow?
He jumped the gun. We had 3 minutes.
Why does he do that? He's blowing 3 million.
Maybe he couldn't hold his wad long enough. It's a common problem among middle-aged men. Although I myself,
He's here.
he could have blown that thing from Pacoima.
Oh, he knew we were up to something. He's close by.
He's not going to corner himself in the building. We evacuated anyway.
Jack does not reply, and Harry sees he's convinced, so he thinks.
So he'd want to be here. He'd want to be mobile. The elevators.
Passenger cars were stopped, right? They checked him out.
What about the freight elevators?
Interior near the freight elevator. They get to the freight elevator doors, pry them open, and they look down. The freight elevator is stopped 5 floors below them, and they can hear movement in the elevator.
Will the mystery guest please sign in?
Jack slides down the elevator cable.
Jack, we don't even know if...
But he's gone. After a moment's hesitation, Harry follows, climbing down the rungs. Interior elevator shaft. Jack and Harry move down the shaft. The freight car, as it arrives. Jack pulls his 9mm Glock and steps from the rungs lightly onto the car. Harry's right behind him. The car sinks slightly from their weight. Jack points at the hatch over the elevator roof, and Harry nods and pulls his Glock. He and Jack kneel by the hatch cover. Jack grabs the handle, and Harry makes the countdown hand signals. 3, 2. A shotgun blast nearly takes their heads off, splintering part of the hatch cover. Both men jump back. A second shot right by Harry's foot sends him jumping away. He steps on the hatch cover and it gives way. He falls into the elevator, hitting his head badly.
Harry.
We hear Harry being knocked out by the butt end of a rifle. In the elevator, Fisk's finger pushes a button on a control panel. Jack is sprawled out as the elevator starts to rise. Another shotgun blast takes out the plate-sized chunk right next to him. Jack wants to return fire, but hears Harry yelling in pain and doesn't know where to shoot. Another blast right next to him keeps him prone to the corner. He senses something and looks up. From his point of view, the elevator barrels towards the ceiling of the shaft. Jack has no other choice. He jumps feet first through the pen hatch. In the elevator, Jack comes crashing down to the elevator, lands hard. The air is thick with shotgun smoke. The few lights not shot out flicker. Jack looks up and is transfixed. He's looking into the barrel of a shotgun. He hears a voice out of the smoke.
I don't suppose anybody would pay $3 million just for you.
He chuckles, and then a loud, dull click. Another click. The shotgun is empty. Jack brings his gun up fast.
Drop it.
The gun drops. Through smoke and flickering light, Jack gets a good look at Howard Fisk. He's calm, his arm around his still groggy Harry. In his hand is a dead man's stick. His coat opens enough for us to see he has sticks of dynamite roped around his chest.
Pop quiz, hotshot. Terrorist. Holding a policeman hostage. He's got enough dynamite strapped to his chest to blow the building in half. What do you do?
In the lobby, McMahon screams into his walkie-talkie.
I want location on those goddamn shots, Briggs. Where is Jack and Harry?
Sir, we've got movement in the freight elevator.
McMahon looks at him puzzled. Interior elevator. Jack keeps steady aim at Fisk.
There's going to be 50 cops waiting for us in the basement.
Standard flanking deployment, yeah?
Fisk opens the elevator control panel. Wires feed into a small box he's hooked up. Fisk hits a couple of buttons.
Maybe we'll just get off on the 3rd floor.
Interior lobby. The elevator indicator light stops at the 3rd floor.
Third floor, let's move it.
The SWAT cops run. In the elevator, ding, the elevator reaches P1.
Well, end of the line. This day has been a real disappointment, I don't mind saying.
Why? Because you didn't get to kill everyone?
True hatred flashes in Fisk's eyes.
There'll come a time, boy, you'll wish you never met me.
I'm pretty much there already.
Fisk starts to back up, dragging Harry with him.
See, I'm in charge here. I drop this stick, they pick up your friend with a sponge.
Angle on Harry. The dead man's stick is right before his eyes.
Are you ready to die, friend? Friend, you ready?
Harry, you ready to die?
Action.
Fuck you.
In 200 years, we've gone from I regret, no regrets, if you will, but one life to give for my country, to fuck you.
Go ahead. Drop the stick.
Shut up.
Man, we got all the balls in the world right here.
Give it up.
Fisk drags Harry out. Jack doesn't know what to do. Harry looks at Jack. He barely mouths the words.
Shoot the hostage.
Jack can't move. Fisk and Harry head towards the swinging doors that lead to the garage. Jack watches, gun trained on Fisk.
Do it.
He shifts aim and blasts Harry in the leg. Harry goes down and Fisk can't take him anywhere. Almost laughing with disbelief, Fisk lets go. Starts running. Jack starts shooting through the pipes and the crates. One of the shots grazes Fisk in the neck, spins him back to face Jack. Even then, Fisk has this strange grin on his face. He stumbles through the doors and Jack runs after him, reloading as he does. The doors swing back and forth. They slow and stop. A huge explosion blasts out from the garage, rips the doors from their hinges, lights go out. The plaster and cement flies. Jack is knocked 15 feet back into the far wall. He lies still, fade to black. Interior City Hall medal ceremony day. The elevator, hostages, and cops in attendance. Jack and Harry stand to one side of the podium in full dress uniform, and the mayor gives a droning speech. Harry has a cane.
The dedication and bravery that make LA's finest truly her finest. 15 citizens owe their lives to this team, and particularly the two officers we are here to honor. Thanks to them, the only life taken by a terrorist bomb was his own.
Angle on Jack and Harry. Eyes front, Harry quietly fumes.
You shot me. I can't believe it. They're going to give you a medal for shooting me, you little prick.
You told him to. The commissioner pins on Harry's medal. There's applause. The commissioner moves to pin the medal on Jack, and we cut to interior Fisk garage, continuous. We see the ceremony on TV, a close-up of Jack's face as the audience applauds again, somewhat louder. Pull out to reveal a bank of 4 TVs, all showing the same shot of Jack. The TVs are all fairly old, not fancy. He sits before the screen, stone-faced. Slowly, loudly, he applauds. Close-up on his hands, and again we see it. There's no left thumb. Exterior Fisk's house. We hear the clapping as we see his house in the twilight, completely unremarkable suburban home, flanked by 2 more just like it. Cut to interior bar that night. The local cop dive. The cop sits clustered in a few tables celebrating. McMahon is standing, making a toast.
Okay. Here's to Harry for his quick thinking, his grace under pressure, and his bravery and selfless act.
Many hears.
And to Jack for shooting Harry, which God knows we've all wanted to do for some time. Ha ha ha.
Everyone laughs and McMahon quiets them.
Shut up. No, okay. You know what it is. To the guys for doing your job and not getting dead. Mazel tov.
Everyone drinks, and McMahon sits as Jack is called upon to speak.
Speech, Jack!
Speech, Jack, a toast, come on!
He doesn't want to, but he stands.
Okay. I'd like to thank all the little people.
All the booze.
I'm fuzzy on names, but I know you're all very tiny. Harry, you're a god. I don't know. Here's to tiny pensions and a cheap gold watch.
Here's, and everyone drinks. Dissolve to interior bar later. The dregs of the occasion. The few that are left are fairly soused. McMahon and Jack are at the bar, talking. The bartender, Sandy, pours them each a shot.
There you go. 35th round is on the house. Damn.
Nobody wanted me to be a cop. My dad said if I wanted to prove myself as a man, I should sell tires like him. His is bigger than mine.
Harry sits at the table with a few cops, including Robin, a female cop. He vaguely paws at her as she stands.
Come here. Come on. Hey, sit on my lap. Sit on my lap and do a dance.
She fends off his hands.
Piss off, Harry. You're married. Yeah.
I am?
Angle on Jack and McMahon.
That's what this job is. It's those moments when everything compresses and it's just you and him, that moment. Other jobs are just typing. And that's what's real people don't understand about cops.
That we're psychotic.
Yes, well, that was your problem with what's her name?
Debbie.
Debbie, Donna.
Oh, right.
Angle on Harry. He's looking at a picture of his wife in his wallet.
This is my wife? She's gorgeous. I'm going home. I'm going to get some.
He staggers up and over to Jack as McMahon heads for the John.
Jack.
Harry, drunk.
Jack, you know what we are? We're the two luckiest guys in the world. Got the bad guy and didn't lose any civilians.
We're good.
We're lucky. Understand it, Jack. We were dealing with a total psycho. He could have blown us up any time. I got a bullet in me, 6 inches off the mark, and I give the medal to my wife.
Harry, man, we won. We got him.
You listen. I'm not going to be backing you up for a long while, so you got to start thinking. Bets will get you so far, and then they'll get you killed. Luck runs out, Jack, sooner or later.
A moment as Harry's words sink in. Harry's said his piece. He pulls himself up, swaying. Jack helps him.
I'm going to go home and have some sex.
Harry, you're gonna go home and puke.
That'll be fun, too.
As they exit frame, we cut to the interior of Jack's apartment in the morning. Jack's airy Venice loft apartment. Very clean, slightly industrial in look. A large model of sailing boat proudly displayed in one corner. The other corner holds a complete entertainment center. Sports equipment is carefully placed along one wall. Jack wakes up lying on top of his covers, wearing shorts and a t-shirt. He looks much worse for the wear. The TV is on by the bed, the Today Show blaring at Jack. He sits slowly up and regards the TV with a bleary eye.
Katie, love me, Katie. Bryant will never respect you the way I do.
Wincing from a hangover, he pulls on his sneakers, gets up, grabs some aspirin that he chews like candy, going for the door, and the camera tracks along, leading him as he heads out. Exterior Jack's house. The door and starts slowly down the street, jogging, picking up speed. The bleariness leaving his face, and we're still leading him along as he starts sprinting, running flat out down the sun-baked street. Cut to Jack's bathroom later. He stands under a steaming hot shower, face to the water. Cut to the Starbucks a little later. Jack is exiting with a cup of coffee as Bob parks his bus across the street and runs to the cafe.
Hey, Jack, you look like a whole side order of hash.
Thanks, Bob.
The boy was up late celebrating.
Vince has Bob's coffee ready, and they make the exchange like clockwork. Jack heads for his car as Bob crosses to his bus.
Wild party, huh?
I don't remember it that well. Can't have been too great. I woke up alone.
Yeah, well, last time I partied like that, I woke up married.
Bob hops in the bus and takes off. Jack puts his breakfast on the top of his car and he digs for his keys. The bus explodes. Jack half turns as the shockwave knocks him off his feet. Car alarms wail, people run, the bus, carcass burns. Twisted metal and flaming plastic where Bob was. Jack moves forward on instinct, but there's nothing he can do and the flames force him back. As Jack stares in shock, we notice a phone ringing, getting louder as it filters into Jack's consciousness. Suddenly, it dawns on him, and he turns, dreamlike, and walks to the phone. He picks up the receiver.
What do you think, Jack? You think if you can find all of the driver's teeth, they'll give you another medal?
Jesus.
Intercut with interior Fisk car, a big old American car. He has it parked a block or two away, and he speaks on a cellular.
20-second delay on the dead man's stick. I'm in the air duct when it blows. Did you think I wouldn't have been prepared? I spent 2 years setting up my elevator job. 2 years. I invested myself in it. You couldn't understand the commitment I have. A child, Jack. You're a child. You ruin a man's life's work and then you think you can walk away? You got blinders on to the world. But I got your attention now, didn't I, Jack?
Why didn't you just come after me?
Oh, now you're getting swelled head now. This is about my money. The money I am due, which I will get. $3.7 million. That was my original sum, plus interest compounded quarterly and expenses. None of this had to happen, Jack. I hope you realize that. That bus driver could have gone home to his wife and children tonight. How long do you think it'll be before they start worrying about him? He's so late coming home.
When I find you, man, I'm gonna kill you all over.
Pop quiz, hotshot. There's a bomb on a bus. Once the bus hits 55 miles per hour, the bomb is armed. If the bus drops below 50, it blows up. What do?
Jack is still lost.
What do you do?
He pauses and accepts the challenge.
I want to know what bus it was.
You think I'm going to tell you that?
Yes.
Very good. Now there's rules, Jack. We have to do this right. No one gets off the bus. If you take any of the passengers off, I will detonate it. If I don't get my money by 11 a.m., there is also a timer.
Jack looks at his watch. It's 8:05.
We can't pull that money. It doesn't matter. We can't pull that money in time.
Angle on
Focus,
Fisk.
Jack. Your concern is the bus. Don't try to call. You'll find the radio is down. It's number 2525. Running downtown from Venice. It's on the corner of Lincoln and Pico. Should be heading onto the freeway right about now.
Angle on the phone, swinging on the line because Jack's already gone. Smash
Now.
shot to Jack's car. Tires squeal as Jack pulls out. Cut to exterior bus stop. The bus is pulling away. Annie, an attractive 20-something in an Arizona t-shirt and casual clothes, bolts after it. It's a good half block away by the time she reaches it. She runs alongside, yelling at the driver. Mimes begging, smiling, praying. Sam, the driver, finally relents. He stops and opens the door.
This looked like a stop to you.
You are a saint, Sam. You are a good, kind man. People will write songs about you one day.
She smiles at him, chewing a wad of gum. He starts up again as she digs in her pockets for fare. She comes up with bills.
Do you have any change?
He rolls his eyes as, angle on the bus, it pulls onto the freeway. Interior of the bus. Annie is exchanging money with Mrs. Camino, an Asian office worker.
Thanks. I have all this change at home, but I always forget.
That's okay.
She deposits the change and makes her way to the middle of the bus. She waves to Ortiz, a large repairman.
Hey, Ortiz.
Annie,
She plops herself down in front of Doug Stevens, an obvious tourist.
first time in LA?
No, I live here.
No, I mean mine. Well, that's just funny. You heard me wrong. I'm sightseeing. I hate to use the word tourist, but It's not like I can hide it.
Not really.
You know, it took me 3 hours just to get here from the airport. I got so lost. LA's one large place. But you live here, you probably don't notice. I'm such a yokel. There, I said it.
While he's saying it, Annie quickly sticks her gum on her seat.
Ugh! There's gum on my seat. Gum! Ew.
She stands and points.
Gum.
And thus excused, she makes her way back to the front. She sits by Helen, a middle-aged secretary, smiles vaguely at her.
Morning.
You're lucky, you know. Sam wouldn't just stop for anyone.
Yeah, well, if he'd been late once, I wouldn't have to catch him.
Not our Sam.
Exterior Santa Monica streets. Frustrated, Jack weaves in and out of traffic, honking, yelling. He turns onto Lincoln in a controlled four-wheeled skid. Exterior bus moving on the freeway. The bus is picking up speed. Exterior freeway on-ramp. Jack speeds up at the on-ramp, almost sideswiping a new black XJ12 Jaguar convertible. The driver screams at Jack. Exterior bus moving. Still on the freeway. The bus in traffic, picking up speed. The speedometer reads 45 and climbing. A few passengers are talking, others are reading. A day like any other day. Annie looks at her watch and addresses Helen.
Oh, I couldn't drive on the freeways anymore. I would get so tense. This way I can just relax all the way to work.
Well, I love my car. I miss my car.
In the shop?
Yeah.
Do you work downtown?
Uh-huh. I'm a graphic designer.
Really? Where do you work?
Uncle Salty's Seafood Hut.
Helen nods understandingly.
Try the shrimp fries. Only 50 cents extra. Anyway, it's only temporary till I can get my enough money together to shoot myself.
Exterior freeway. Jack is frantic, weaving in and out of traffic. Insert bus speedometer, almost touching 50, then eases off. There's a traffic jam ahead and the bus slows down. Passengers groan.
Can't you go over them?
Exterior freeway. Jack grins. It's going to be okay. Exterior freeway. A half-mile ahead, there's an accident blocking the 3 right lanes. There are flames on the road and a policeman is trying to direct traffic. Traffic is backed up 100 yards from the accident and is tunneling through one open lane, the far left lane. Jack sees the bus. It's mirrored in the jam as well, but it's all the way over to the left, 50 yards from Jack. Jack pulls his car over on the right shoulder, stops and gets out. He hurries for the bus. It's a race against time, and the bus is heading for the choke point, building speed as the cars funnel through ahead of it. Jack gets to the bus. Just as it's about to pass the accident, he runs along beside it, knocking on the bus door.
Stop! Open up!
That guy really wants to get on the bus.
Can you blame him?
Get off the doors, man. Wait for the next one.
LAPD, stop the bus!
But he's barely audible from inside. He pulls his badge out of his pocket, but he's bumped by a passing car in the right lane and drops it.
Maybe you should let him on, Sam.
Annie gives a concerned look. Sam speeds up to get away from Jack, and Jack retrieves his badge. A young Hispanic Ray watches Jack chasing the bus. He looks around at everyone nervously and says nothing. Jack tries to get in front of the bus, but Sam doesn't slow down, so Jack has to get out of the way. The bus is getting away. He's running as fast as he can. He tries to pull the rear doors, no go. The doors slip from his grasp. He pounds futilely on the last plastic side panel, and the bus is gone. Jack staggers, doubles over, exhausted. Cars honk at him, swerve around him. Jack looks back. His car is half a mile back, still in thick traffic. Not an issue. Jack steps out in front of oncoming cars instead.
Stop!
We hear brakes screeching and a man yelling.
What the fuck?
The Jaguar owner, late 20s, curses Jack from behind the wheel of the brand new XJ12 convertible. Jack flashes a badge.
LAPD, get out of the car.
Oh, Jesus, not again. This is my car, okay? I own this car. It's not stolen.
Jack pulls out his gun.
It is now.
Jack
Ooh.
opens the door.
Move over.
The man
We'll be in
hesitates
LA.
a second, then gets up and climbs over the center console into the passenger seat. Jack holsters his gun, jumps in, and steps on it.
You scratch this puppy. We're gonna have words.
Interior bus. Sam accelerates. We hear the automatic transmission downshift. Insert speedometer, 45 and climbing. Jack chasing the bus, weaving in and out of traffic, honking, flashing the Jag's lights. The car owner holds on with white knuckles and eyes closed. Insert bus speedometer, 46, 47. Jack catches up to the bus. He lays on it, his hands on the horn. Sam looks down from the bus at Jack and double takes. It's the same guy who was running after the bus, and he's yelling something.
Man definitely has a hard-on for this bus.
Ray watches the car with growing unease. He gets up and goes to the rear of the bus, slumps way down. Jack trying to be heard above the engine noise.
I'm a cop.
Sam's eyes narrow. He opens the window.
What?
Jack flashes his badge.
LAPD, there's a bomb on your bus.
There's a fuck? I can't hear you.
There's a bomb on the bus.
Sam shakes his head. He can't hear Jack. Jack looks around, sees sheet music on the back seat.
Grab that, will you? I need something to write on.
The Jaguar owner hesitates a beat, but grabs the sheet music.
I want you to write on the back in big letters, bomb on bus.
Is this for real?
Just write it.
The Jaguar owner starts to write, and Jack accelerates sharply, snapping the Jaguar owner's head back. The Jaguar pulls out in front of the bus. On the bus, Sam and the passengers are looking out at Jack, wondering what the hell is going on. Insert the speedometer, 48, 49. The Jaguar owner holds the sheet music up. The wind rips it from his hands. Sam looks up as the sheet music plasters against his windshield. Bomb on bus. Sam is stunned. The wind whips it away, and Sam breaks into a cold sweat. Insert speedometer, 48, 49, 50. Under the bus, a mass of slabs of white putty wired to a black box. A red light comes on, blinks. The explosives are armed. 2 other smaller bombs, also under the bus, are armed. We don't see exactly where they are. They just one cake of C4 apiece. Interior bus. Sam's eyes go wide. Sam's foot instinctively eases off the gas. The bus speedometer dropping 55, 54, 53. Jack sees the bus slow. He looks down at the Jag speedometer. It reads 55.
No.
Sam looks at Jack, the bus continuing to slow, and Jack motions for him to speed up.
Speed up.
Sam's foot holds the pedal steady, and the bus levels off. Sam looks questioningly at Jack, and Jack yells as loud as he can.
50. Stay above 50.
Sam hears him, and he looks at Jack. Does it mean what he thinks he means? Jack nods. Sam trembles a little, and Sam's foot presses down on the gas pedal, accelerating. Jack drives intently. The owner has his cellular phone out.
470-8000. Ask for Detective Harry Temple.
Harry Temple, it's urgent.
He listens a moment, then hands the phone to Jack.
Harry.
Intercut with Interior Police Station. Harry's at his desk, a sleepy morning. Robin and SWAT Cop number 1 are working in the background.
You better not be calling out sick, 'cause I dragged my ass out of...
He's alive.
What?
The bomber, Harry. He's back.
McMahon and Norwood burst in mid-conversation.
He hit one in Venice already. Fire chief says there's nothing left.
Temple, we just got a ransom demand from your dead terrorist. Says he rigged a city bus. Where's Jack?
Where do you think?
Exterior freeway on Jack. He's driving like a maniac. The Jaguar fishtails on the shoulder, the car horns blaring at him. Jack gets back alongside the bus, now on the bus's right by the door. He's worried. The traffic is already thickening. On the bus, Sam hears a honk and looks out at the passenger door. Jack has pulled the Jag around to that side, and he's driving on the shoulder, yelling at him. He can't make him out, and Sam flips the door control.
Drive straight. Stay in this lane.
What?
Jack looks around. How to do this? He looks at the Jag's door. It's a problem. So he speeds ahead of the bus, opens the door, swings it wide. The wind tries to push it shut, but he holds it open.
What are you doing?
Are you insured?
Why?
But Jack is already slamming on the brakes.
Shit.
The Jaguar's wheels smoke. The bus comes up fast, smashes into the door, and rips it off. On the bus, everyone looks in amazement as the Jaguar, minus the door, slows beside the bus.
Keep straight. Take the wheel.
He stands on the edge of the seat and the owner scrambles to get into it. Jack prepares to jump. He's just about to, but Sam, some yahoo in front of him, is going 40. He has to swerve. Jack yells, leaps from his car, and doesn't look like he's going to make it. His right hand grabs the bottom of the handrail of the front of the bus. Jack howls. His shoulder is wrenched. His feet are dragging over the pavement. The Jaguar. The owner is struggling to get control of the car. He can't do it in time. The Jag plows into the big yellow water-filled collision barrels at an off-ramp. The driver, unhurt, cranes to see if Jack made it okay. Jack pulls himself with one arm up onto the bus steps. Interior bus. Jack catches his breath and looks up, dusts himself off. Everyone on the bus is staring at him, and Jack holds his badge. Ray looks around at him, concerned.
Everyone, I'm Jack Travin, LAPD. We got a slight situation on the bus here.
Annie rises from her seat.
What's going on? Are you crazy?
Ma'am, if you'll please sit down, we can deal with this in an orderly...
But what are you?
Ma'am.
His tone is so stern, she sits right back down. Jack makes his way down the bus, looking at everyone. In the back, Ray starts sweating as Jack approaches. His hands reach for something under his coat.
If everyone will just stay in your seats and remain calm and quiet, then we'll be able to diffuse the problem. So sit tight.
Ray suddenly leaps out of his seat.
Get away from me.
He levels a gun at Jack. Instinctively, Jack whips his own out, and the two are at close-range standoff. Ray looks more scared than anything. There are a few screams.
I don't know you, man. I'm not here for you. Let's not do this.
Stop the bus.
He can't.
Shut up.
He moves forward, and Jack backs up, slowly. Stay cool, man.
Stop the bus.
Sam looks around, unsure what to do.
Look, I'm putting my gun away. Okay? Okay, listen, I don't care about your crime. Whatever you did, I'm sure that you're sorry. And so it's cool now. It's over. And I'm not a cop right now, see? We're just two cool guys just hanging on the bus.
Despite the fumbling manner of Jack's speech, his tone does have a hypnotic lull. Ray looks like he might lower the gun, and Ortiz jumps him.
No!
He rushes forward as Ortiz and Ray struggle. A shot goes off, everyone ducking and screaming. A second shot. The driver's partition shatters. Sam lurches to one side, hit on the back.
Sam!
The bus swerves sickeningly as Sam slumps over. Annie dives for the wheel and Helen to help Sam. Jack moves in with two crunching blow disarms, subdues Ray simultaneously.
Move him!
He's bleeding.
I've got to stop this thing!
Jack spins around.
No, stay above 50.
We've got a wounded...
You slow down, this bus will explode.
Silence. Annie looks briefly back at Jack and sees he's not kidding. She looks back at the speedometer, which is almost under 51. She pushes her foot on the accelerator, and Jack adjusts everyone in the handcuffs as he handcuffs Ray to a pole.
There is a bomb on this bus. If we slow down, it'll blow. If anyone tries to get off, it'll blow. Wide eyes, some quiet tears.
Harry stands up. Oh, this is bullshit. Nobody's gonna... This is some joke.
Are we gonna have a problem now?
A moment, and Terry backs down.
He's bleeding bad. I don't know what to do. There's all this blood.
Mrs. Camino pulls off her sweater, going over and wrapping it around Sam's shoulder.
We're only gonna make it through this if everyone stays calm and sits down. That means you, Gigantor.
Terry moves to help lay Sam out more comfortably, and Jack goes over to Annie. She's staring straight ahead, death grip on the wheel. She's terrified.
This is great. A bomb on wheels.
Ma'am, can you handle this bus?
Sure, I can do this. It's just like driving a really big Pinto.
Can you handle it?
Fine. What's the plan? Is there a plan?
Just for you to drive. We're okay for now. Just stay above 50.
She takes a breath and calms herself. He dials.
You're a cop, right?
That's right.
Then I should probably tell you, I'm just taking the bus because I had my driver's license revoked.
What for?
Speeding.
He allows himself a grin as he dials. Exterior helipad. Norwood and McMahon board a police chopper. It lifts off. Exterior freeway. The bus races along. High above it, we see the local news helicopters, cameras trained on it. Interior Fisk's room. All 4 TVs are on, playing all the different newscasts. Fisk sits watching the various helicopter shots of the bus. We focus in on Channel 7, the newscaster's voice rising from the general cacophony.
Apparently a member of the LAPD SWAT team boarded the bus just minutes ago.
Would that be you, Jack?
Cut to interior bus, Jack on the phone.
Where do we start?
Intercut with interior police station. Harry's at his desk, Robin and SWAT cop number 1.
Okay, check the speedometer. Has it been fucked with, loosened, any wires?
Jack checks.
No, it's clean.
Then it's going to be under the bus, probably right to one of the axles.
I can't get under the bus right now, Harry. It's kind of in motion.
Sam makes a grunting sound in Jack's direction.
Officer? Hey, Officer Travin.
She beckons to Jack, who kneels by Sam.
There's access panel in the floor.
He points to the center of the bus.
Hold on.
He goes over and unscrews the panel, pulls it aside. Pavement rushes beneath him. He hands the phone to Stevens.
Hold on to this, please. Tell him what I see.
Steven takes the phone nervously as Jack sticks his head down in the hole. It's dark and cramped down there.
Okay, there's a wad right here. Pretty big.
There's a pretty big wad.
Brass fittings. I think I can reach the circuit wire.
He can reach the circuit wire. Don't. That'll be a decoy. What else?
Hold on.
It's hard to see very far with the tanks and pipes. Jack lowers his head even further down. From his point of view, the undercarriage closer to the front comes into view.
Fuck me.
There's an obscene mass of plastic stuck to the front. Detonators, wires, a jerry-rigged timer built around the gutted gold wristwatch. A lot of the gold plating is flaked off, a dull gray beneath.
Oh darn.
Jack pulls himself out of the hole, grabs the phone.
Harry, there's enough C4 in this thing to put a hole in the world.
All right. Be calm like me. What else?
3 triggers, one on the axle I can't really see. Cellular remote and a timer running off a wristwatch.
Something about that bothers Harry.
What kind of a watch?
It's too far to see. A gold band, fairly cheesy.
Officer?
What's on your mind, Harry?
Officer! Trevin, now!
Jack races to the front, looks out the window with Annie. From their point of view, ahead, a domino tide of red brake lights washes back.
Get on the shoulder.
Annie nods and veers onto the right shoulder, blasting past the slowing traffic. But then they see, in their point of view, a half-mile ahead, there's a stalled car being rolled onto the back of a tow truck on the shoulder. Behind it, there's an off-ramp.
Get off or stay on.
Shit.
Get
Annie
off or
tries to
stay
squeeze.
on.
Annie tries to squeeze the bus between the tow truck and a slow lane. She hits the car on back, sending it flying over the front of the truck. She keeps going, side-sprawling several cars.
Jack, what now?
Off.
Annie steers off the freeway in the last second onto the exit ramp. Exterior of the bus roars down off the ramp, slamming into water barrels. Far ahead, cars are stopped at the light. The ramp is a single lane. The bus jumps the curb, taking out the roadway signs, reflectors, and car mirrors. Interior bus. For the next few minutes, whenever she doesn't need to use both hands to drive, her hand is on the horn.
Everybody hold on.
Annie's hands and feet are in constant motion. The passengers are knocked out about yelling. Jack and Annie's faces. Uh-oh. They see a red light at the bottom of the ramp. Cross traffic. Annie's foot hesitates over the brake, and then Jack's foot stomps on the gas. The bus rockets through the intersection. Cars fishtail, nearly colliding. Interior bus. Sam winces. Helen holds his hand. Jack and Annie stare at the speedometer. It's dipping close to 50, but rises again. Jack and Annie share a look of relief. They look ahead. The street is clear for a half mile. Exterior street, far ahead. Unbeknownst to them, a woman in her 30s is pushing a baby carriage along the sidewalk. She's talking to another woman. Interior bus. A moment's respite. The cellular rings.
Yeah. Mac, where have you been? We had to bail on the freeway. We're in the city.
Intercut with interior chopper. McMahon is looking out the window as he has a map of the city in his lap.
I can see you, Jack.
Angle on McMahon's point of view. The bus charges through the maze of streets.
Keep going straight. We're trying to clear the roads for you. We'll get it. We'll get you out, Jack.
He consults the map closely, trying to pinpoint the bus's location. The bus barrels down the streets. Interior Fisk's room. As Fisk watches eating a bologna sandwich on the white bread and a glass of milk, we see that the 3 TVs have the bus on them, but the 4th one is turned to a football game. Interior police station. Harry looks up at the things on his desk. Evidence from Fisk's last job, lined up and tagged. Robin is standing nearby with a SWAT cop, number 1.
I don't get it.
Watch his shitty timer. Why use it? What's he saying?
Lots of people have watches, Harry. This guy has MO bombers fall in love with one kind of bomb, and they're very magnanimous. This guy uses C4 dynamite. Different triggers every time. Now he throws it in this watch. He's an encyclopedia, knows every kind of bomb.
And everything we do to dismantle them. Robin, I want to look at the files from the last, say, 10 years.
We did the mugshots, Harry.
No, I want to look at cops.
Exterior, a street near the bus. Cars cruising to an intersection are overtaken by a screaming black and white. It reaches the intersection and turns, screeching, halting in front of traffic and blocking the intersection. The cars slam on their brakes, nearly hitting the patrol car. The passengers barely have time to cruise before the enormous bus roars by, going the other way. Interior bus. The passengers watch the city streets fly by, panic and volume turned high. Annie sees the garbage truck back out in front of the bus. Annie pulls the wheel hard left. The bus swerves into oncoming traffic and the bus dodges oncoming cars, trucks, and other buses, bumping a few of them. A Lincoln peels off the side of the bus and goes flying.
Sorry.
Exterior street. The 2 women wave goodbye. Woman number 1 pushes the baby carriage towards the curb. Interior helicopter. Max still looks at his map.
You got about 10 more blocks and there'll be some units waiting. Follow them straight. Then there's a left to the T. You'll head on the 105 freeway. It's not in use yet. It'll be empty.
Interior bus.
Right.
Exterior, the bus continues on. The woman and the baby carriage step out from the van right in front of the bus. Annie and Jack, the horror. It's too late. Annie shuts her eyes. The bus smashes into the baby carriage as the woman pushing it jumps clear. Jack and Annie, her eyes are shut. She screams and Jack can't help but look. In Jack's point of view, slow motion. The baby carriage is knocked 70 feet in front to the side of the bus, sailing through the air. Jack, his eyes follow. He grimaces as the baby carriage hits the pavement, but then 100 empty soda and beer cans explode out of it. Interior bus, Jack smiles.
There's your baby. It's just cans.
Annie opens her eyes, looks in the side view mirror. In her point of view, the woman is running after the bus, shaking her fist, stopping to pick up the cans, and Annie sighs with relief.
Looks just like you, honey.
Their point of view, here at last are the patrol cars, which start up, leading the way. Interior bus. Everyone watches the streets. After a few blocks, the patrol cars come to the on-ramp. The bus follows when a group of school kids walk blithely out in front of it. Annie is forced to swerve and continue on the street parallel to the freeway.
Why aren't they in school?
Mac, we're boned.
Interior chopper.
I saw. Keep straight.
He consults the map. Interior bus. Patrol cars pull in front of it again, leading it.
Jack, there's another entrance in about 2 miles. You got to make a ugly turn, though.
How ugly?
What's ugly?
Jack listens a moment more on the phone.
We got a hard right coming up at the construction site.
Annie looks out the window. The construction site is far away but visible. Annie can't even see the road to turn on.
This is a dead end.
There's a turn.
There is a turn way ahead. The first patrol car takes it and nearly wipes out. Another follows with all attendants screeching.
I can't make that.
Keep left.
But it's...
Keep left. You take it wide.
We're gonna tip over.
A beat.
You're right. We're going to tip over. Everyone on this side of the bus.
The passengers hesitate.
Now.
The passengers scramble and squeeze in by each other. They look at each other scared. Ray strains to get over as he's cuffed.
Move as far over as you can. Hurry.
Annie eases the accelerator off as far as it's safe. The turn is 50 yards away.
Mac, you better clear that sight.
He turns back to Annie, and Annie arcs out to flatten the turn as much as possible.
Hold on.
She turns the wheel and dives into the turn. The passengers are thrown. Most hold on. The bus tires screech on the pavement. One wheel lifts off the ground for a second. Some passengers scream. Most hold their breath. Annie strains against the steering wheel to hold it steady. She's losing it. Jack grabs the wheel and pulls it with her. Holding the turn, the bus comes back onto the pavement. Annie and Jack bring the bus back into line. They made it. Jack turns back to the passengers, smiling.
As you were.
Interior bus. As the passengers untangle themselves, Helen looks white as a sheet.
Good Lord. We might have. Well, I can't think.
It's okay. If you need to, you go right ahead and vomit.
Exterior the bus. Reaches the on-ramp, shoots up through the sawhorses, and they're on. The chopper touches down nearby, and Mac gets out, talking to Norwood as he tries to fold the map.
I want choppers up ahead. Make sure there's nothing obstructing the freeway. We got a window here. Let's keep it open.
Interior the bus. A moment for speed. Angle on Annie and Jack.
Ma'am, you did very well.
He looks at her and tops the hostage talk and smiles.
Actually, you were incredible. I've never seen driving like that.
Annie
What?
is my name. Annie. As opposed to ma'am.
They smile at each other for a moment, and Annie looks back to the road.
I'm sorry.
Why is this all happening? Did we bomb this guy's country or something?
It's just a guy that wants money.
Annie looks at Jack.
No. I don't buy it. This is not a good way to make money. Odds are we should be dead already. What's this guy's deal?
A while back, this guy held some people for ransom. It went sour, and now he's a little pissed at me.
Then what does this?
It's a game. If he gets the money, he wins. If the bus blows up, he wins.
So what happens if you win?
Then tomorrow we'll play another one.
Cut to interior police station. Harry and Robin lean over a computer worked by SWAT cop number 1. On the screen, a series of faces flash by.
Well, SWAT 1. We got no match for that description. No one lost a thumb, at least for the last 10 years. How could he could be from anywhere? I can't access all that.
Forget the files. I want you to go through the pension fund. This guy's drawing disability. He may not be LAPD, but he's living here now.
She goes.
I want pictures. I've seen this asshole.
Cut to exterior of the bus. Mac pulls up next to it on the back of a flatbed, and Jack comes out the steps to talk to him.
Let's start unloading the passengers.
Can't do it, sir.
No time for stunts. Trevin sounds like Trev. We get those people out of harm's way.
I got orders. We move these people, he'll see. Crazy, not stupid, remember?
Mac accepts it, scowling.
Arr. Harry's working on finding this guy. We think he may be a police. He may be a police. I didn't write it.
Norwood leans out of the cab of the truck.
Harry's working on finding this guy. We think he may be a police officer. Oh, shoot, that is not even my line.
I see what you did.
It's him. He wants to talk to Jack.
Give him the number.
He steps into the bus and looks at Sam.
How's he doing?
The bleeding is less, but
Her look tells him Sam doesn't have much time.
oh god, shit. Are they going to help us?
Sure they are. They're the police. Hey, your taxes are paying their salary. If we die, they gotta take a pay cut.
That's not how it works.
I I mean,
The phone rings. Jack puts it to his ear. Intercut with Fisk.
Yeah.
Wrong here. Jack, I think we have trust. But it looks like on the TV you're trying to get those passengers off of the bus.
You gotta let me have one.
Now, we went over the rules.
Come on, as an act of faith. We got an injured man here. The driver's been shot.
Jack, tell me you haven't been shooting the passengers. I thought it was customary for a police officer to shoot the bad men.
Hey, get in range.
No one gets off.
Come on, this guy has no time. It'll grease the wheels with the money men if you show a little charity. There's still gonna be plenty of us to kill.
Okay, son, you can try and unload the driver. Tell the wildcat behind the wheel to not slow down, though, or they won't get the choice to bleed to death. And Jack,
Yeah.
don't slip.
Interior bus. They hang up and Jack crosses to the passengers.
We're gonna get the driver off.
Just him?
For now. Gigantor.
Ortiz.
Ortiz, I'm gonna need your help.
Okay.
What about the rest of us? You have to keep his strength, or I think his wound will tear.
Man, he's letting us unload the driver. Pull up alongside him.
He bends over to grab Sam's feet.
How you feeling?
Like I've been shot.
Jack lifts, so does Ortiz at the head. Sam groans with pain, and Ray rushes in to support his middle. He and Ortiz exchange a look. They walk him to the doorway. Mac's truck is right next to him. Jack stands on the bottom step and yells to the SWAT guy on the truck.
We gotta keep him straight.
The SWAT guy nods. Jack inches out further. He holds Sam's leg with one hand and the railing with the other, leaning out towards the truck. The pavement rushes by underneath him. The SWAT guy grabs Sam, and slowly the exchange is made. Jack steps back into the bus where Mrs. Camino is wiping up blood.
I think he's gonna be...
Wait!
Helen suddenly leaps out of her seat and rushes to the door. Her face is etched in panic. She comes to the last step and hesitates.
No!
He rushes to the front and Helen stands. The SWAT guy waves for her to jump. Interior Fisk's room. Fisk sees this on TV, punches a button on his cellular. Under the bus, the small bomb directly below Helen. The red light comes on. The front steps explode. SWAT guys are knocked off their feet and Jack is knocked into Annie and the bus swerves. Helen falls. Jack grabs at her too late. The bus bumps sickeningly as Jack almost falls, grabbed by the lady in Catwoman's glasses. For a moment, nothing. Jack sits back on the floor of the bus at Annie's feet, staring at the hole that was steps. Annie is nearly hyperventilating, her eyes locked on the road. Fisk watches on TV and smiles. Intercut to the TV. Oh, sorry.
That's fine, baby. Interactive TV, Jack. Wave of the future.
The bus. More silence. Angle on Ortiz, completely shocked. This guy ain't fucking around. A woman starts crying quietly, and finally,
McMahon, get those fucking choppers off my ass.
Ortiz takes his jacket off, puts it around Mrs. Camino's shoulders.
Here.
Thank you. I'm a little cold.
Jesus. I can't be here. I can't. This is the wrong bus for me to. I can't die here. Hey, shut up, man. I got a wife. You do?
So if you have a wife, and I don't, does that mean I'm expendable?
What are you talking about? The guy's just talking crazy. Gets on my nerves.
And then all at once,
Hey, I think I have the right to be a little upset after we've... What are you starting everybody for? Poking your nose in, letting us die in peace, you.
Stop all this bullshit. We're just making more trouble.
I'm interested to see how long before the mighty caveman comes to the surface and starts throwing rocks at people's heads. And then rises.
Hey, can that shit. Jesus, it's like a school bus.
He looks at Annie. She is shaking with effort not to cry.
Are you okay?
No.
What do you need?
She takes a moment. Jack brushes hair from her face.
When that bomb went off,
I know.
She shakes her head.
when it blew, I thought it was it. I thought that was the bomb and I was dead. And when I saw her fall into the bus, I was...
This is not an easy thing to say.
You were glad you were still alive.
God, I'm sorry.
Don't be. You should be glad. We all are. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're a human being.
She looked so scared.
She was scared. She was a nice lady who didn't deserve to get killed. But Annie, if she'd gotten off, he would have killed us all. He's the asshole, Annie. The guy who put us here. Remember that, okay?
She nods shakily.
Did they teach you how to talk nice to hysterical hostages in cop school?
No, it's mostly tying square knots and how to build fire, stuff like that.
She smiles a little.
We should be okay for a while.
Interior of the truck. Listening on a headset, Norwood's face goes dazzling white.
I am dazzling white, and oh my God, are you sure? How far? Sir, we have a serious problem.
What?
This freeway isn't finished.
What are you talking about?
The chopper's caught, about like 3 miles ahead. There's a section missing.
But it's on the map. It's finished on the goddamn map.
I guess they fell behind.
Fuck. You're fired. Everybody's fucking fired. How big a section?
50 feet at least.
Get me closer.
He gestures for Jack to come to the door. The flatbed truck veers right next to the bus.
Jack, there's a gap in the road. It's big.
Interior of the bus.
You're kidding.
50 feet. It's in the interchange somewhere after the next turn.
What do we do?
We got to get them off some way.
There's a gap in the road, couple of miles up.
Various reactions. Groans, fears, tears. People look at each other, realizing these are the last faces they're ever going to see. No one knows what to say, except maybe Ortiz.
You can always count on the cops, man.
Angle on Jack and Annie.
God, no. Well, what if I shift into neutral and we keep the engine revving high?
Thought of that.
What then?
They're waiting for his answer, which he doesn't have. He thinks.
Floor it.
No.
Yes, it's an overpass. There might be an incline. Floor it.
She nods, and the bus starts picking up speed. The speedometer climbs above 60. Jack starts towards the back of the bus. The passengers are silent, terrified. He looks at their faces as he passes.
I want everybody to hold on to the seat in front of them or whatever's nearest. Heads down. Put that stuff under your seat.
Is this really going to work?
Jack looks at him a second. What do you say to that?
Definitely.
He comes to Ray and unlocks his cuff. Ray looks pretty small.
I didn't mean to shoot that guy.
Keep hold of the seat in front of you.
Which means, for now, apology accepted. Jack moves back to the front. Jack looks out the window. The signs and barriers are approaching.
Everybody hold on.
People grab rails, cling to them, heads in their laps. Ortiz takes a cross from under his shirt and palms it. Mac watches from the truck, stopped on an empty freeway along with the other SWAT cops. Some mumble prayers. The gap in the freeway. The bus is coming in fast, getting faster. Insert the bus speedometer. 66, 67, 68. Interior bus. Terry is sitting by Ray.
I never shot nobody before. Jesus, I hope that guy doesn't die.
Terry looks like he's going to throw up. Mrs. Camino is quietly crying. We hear various mumbled prayers. Stevens is in near fetal position, clutching his map like a religious icon. Annie's point of view, they're screaming at the gap. Insert bus speedometer, 70, 71. Annie yells and shuts her eyes. Jack pushes Annie down, covers her body with his, and puts his hand over her on the steering wheel, trying to hold the bus straight. Exterior bus. Hits the gap going 73 miles an hour. It's airborne. The front end starts to dive. The front wheels hit the concrete edge of the far side of the gap hard. Interior bus. Jack, Annie, the passengers, all thrown forward. Exterior bus. The tires don't burst. The wheels roll up on the freeway surface and keep moving. The tail end of the bus is still in midair, dropping fast. The undercarriage hits the concrete, scrapes, sheets of sparks, and horrible grinding. Insert speedometer, 60, 59, 58. It's dropping fast. The bus. The rear wheels hit the edge of the gap very hard. On the bus, passengers near the back are tossed into the air, windows shatter, a seat is ripped from its mooring. The bus keeps rolling, and Mac and the SWAT cops are all cheering, whooping it up.
You okay?
I'm okay. I'm all right.
Jack stands and addresses the passengers.
Is everybody okay?
They're bruised, dazed, and bleeding, but whole. A muted chorus of yas followed by some boisterous whoops and even applause. People laugh, hug, and high-five. People who are crying now are laughing and crying. Terry kisses Mrs. Camino, but only if they're sitting next to each other.
They're there.
You're the man, Annie. You are the man.
We are way out of control.
God damn, yes.
He high-fives, or some such display, the person next to him. Only Stevens hasn't moved, still in his fetal position. He slowly opens his eyes, smiles wanly as he looks around him.
It's muted.
You were muted.
I felt we would make it.
Jack smiles big. He looks at Annie. A trickle of blood is running from her forehead. He kneels by her, beaming at her with honest admiration.
I think you missed your calling. You should have been a pilot.
She smiles too, and Jack sees something ahead and gets an idea. He has to act fast.
Get off now. Get off this.
What?
She hesitates a second too long for his liking, so he grabs the wheel and pulls it hard right. Passengers yell as they're tossed to the side. The bus swerves over sharply onto an exit ramp. Freeway gap. Mac gets into the SWAT police van with Norwood.
Where the hell's he going?
Time cut to exterior airport road. A sign reads LAX cargo entrance. Annie drives the bus towards the airport gate. The helicopters veer off away from air traffic.
Head there.
She is, but a patrol car appears, partially blocking the entrance she's headed for. She swerves to miss it and heads towards an exit with tire shredding spikes. Annie turns hard and passengers are thrown off their feet. The bus swerves back for the entrance. One outside rear tire nicks the last of the spikes, but doesn't burst.
Never a dull moment. Please, God, send me a dull moment.
Exterior airport. The bus turns onto a taxiway adjacent to a runway as a 747 thunders overhead. Interior, GMS Suburban on the freeway.
He's at the airport.
The airport? There's thousands of people.
That's my boy, Jack. You should be able to circle around the runway. Buy us some time.
We can't fly in there.
Neither can the newsboys. Let's move. Back to the exit.
The GMC Suburban pulls out. Norwood points out the airport on the map. Mac looks.
Tell them to head here. There's a road there that circles the freight terminals. It should be perfect.
Let's hope they can build it.
Interior of the bus. Stevens look out the window.
We're at the airport.
Yeah, so?
I've already seen the airport.
Exterior airport. Mac's van follows where the bus went. Angle on the choppers. Hovering near the airport, they give up and fly away. Interior bus. The phone rings and Jack picks it up.
Hello?
GMC Suburban enters the airport through the same gate as the bus and flies by the gate guard who points at the direction the bus went. Intercut with Fisk.
Very exciting, Jack. Some close calls, but you've done all right for yourself.
What do you want?
Money, Jack. I wish I had some loftier purpose, but in the end, I'm just like you and me. I'd like large, non-sequential bills and 2 clear plastic bags, unmarked. Can you remember all that?
What are you telling me for?
I want you to help me get it before it gets too late. I don't like negotiators, Jack. They talk to you like they're your best friend, and none of them know me or know you. Why do they mess with me? Why do you think I'm doing this for?
For
Do you think
fun,
I'm doing this for fun?
aren't you?
Oh, that's not fair, Jack. You don't know how I feel about this. You don't know about me. They don't think that.
You want this money? Come on, show me your commitment. Let me get on the ground. Just me. That's not against the rules.
All right. I'd like you back in 10 minutes or less.
Fine.
Jack, nothing tricky now. You know, I'm on the top of you. Do not attempt to grow a brain.
Jack hangs up. Annie has heard the bulk of the conversation. A GMC Suburban pulls up next to the bus. Mac, Norwood, and SWAT driver ride alongside.
There's a plan now, right?
Could be. Everybody sit tight. I'm getting off for a minute.
What for?
Well, do you think that's a good idea?
Are you just gonna leave us here? I would.
Don't worry, I won't go too far. Just keep circling. You'll be fine.
Annie looks at him and she knows she may not see him again, but she's gonna be brave.
Don't forget about us, okay?
They look at each other for a moment and Jack tenderly brushes her hair from his face. Her hair from her face, but also his hair from his face. He's never gonna forget this. Jack turns to the doorway. He motions for the truck to come in close. He jumps. For a moment, everyone is silent on the bus. The host has left the party. Jack and Mac talk as the GMC Suburban veers off the road and the bus charges off in the distance behind them. They pass a newsman, cops keeping the news people from filming.
The choppers are gone, Jack. Let's dump the passengers now.
No way. He's ready for that.
But how is he?
I don't know how. I just know he is. He's been a step ahead of me every time. If we unload, he'll take them out. I guarantee it.
Where does that put us?
I gotta try to dismantle that bomb.
That's not an option.
What would you do if the bus was standing still?
Jack, it's not.
Interior of the bus. Angle and Terry and Ray. Minutes later, they sit near the back. So what do you do, man?
What?
Why'd you go apeshit before? What'd you do?
Nothing, man. Leave me alone.
Come on, was it a game thing or what?
Nothing. God, I stole the gun, man. You know, from my cousin. The whole
What
thing.
for? Ray looks sidelong at Terry. He's either being defensive or lying.
Home protection.
Angle on the front. Ortiz and Stevens are standing at the front with Annie.
Telling you, Annie, the guy's somewhere jerking off.
He didn't have to get on the bus in the first place, Ortiz. And get your ass behind the yellow line. I have faith.
What's that?
I have faith.
They all look at something pulling in front of them. Their eyes go wide.
Oh my God, he is insane.
Angle on their point of view. A truck has pulled in front of them. Attached to the back is a low wooden dolly. Jack is standing on it in his SWAT gear with a headset and a bunch of tools. On the truck, Mac is in the back of the truck. He's got a headset as well.
We're not going to be able to keep this steady for long.
I just need a few minutes. If I can't do it by then, I can't do it at all.
All right.
Harry, you with me? Harry? My God, he blew up already.
Spoiler.
Harry? Harry, are you okay? Are you okay?
Harry?
Are you okay, Harry?
We got to get this bus on the ground.
Harry.
Harry!
Harry?
Harry, you with me?
How are we going to end this thing, man?
All the way.
Okay, this is it. Don't get dead.
Barely a moment between them, and then Jack is lying down on the dolly. Angle on Annie, watching the dolly inch closer.
It's a really bad plan. Really bad plan.
Have faith, sister.
Jack smiles at Annie and gives her the thumbs up.
Oh, Christ.
Just keep it steady.
Gee, thanks for the tip.
The truck slows a bit and the dolly inches closer to the bus. Jack lies completely flat as the bus approaches. He starts to disappear under the bus, and Annie squints with concentration. Mac looks on, concerned. Jack looks straight up, keeping as calm as possible as the bus covers his head. Under the bus, Jack inches under the bomb. He speaks, as always, into the headset until stated otherwise to Mac.
Okay, tell them to hold here.
He looks up at the bomb. From his point of view, the bomb is so close it fills our line of vision. There are wires running from the timer to various detonators. Also a few covered wires of different colors sticking in one end of the timer and out the other. Interior police station.
What do you see?
It's pretty standard. Timer's looped to the remote, then feeds out.
Then we got to try to bypass the remote current with the battery. Can you find the tripwire for the remote?
I don't know. I got a few choices here.
Black and red?
And green.
Okay, listen. I'm guessing he's not going to use standard copper for the remote. Too weak. I'd use a fiber alloy. I need you to look at the wire.
It's covered.
I know. You got to cut off the sheath, but don't cut the wire.
Right.
Start with the green.
He has to work slowly. He's so close to the bus he can't look at his tools. He feels for them and brings them to his chest. He palms an X-Acto and carefully starts scraping away at the green plastic covering. The bus hits a tiny bump, and Jack slips, goes stock still as sweat drips down his forehead. He looks at the knife. He's gone halfway through the wire. Very, very slowly, he pulls it out. He scrapes some more at the sheath, revealing a silverish wire, not copper.
Bullseye.
Great. Clip on the battery and run it to the lead wire.
He palms the battery and clips one end to the silver wire to the alligator clip. He searches out the lead wire. He finds it, a cloud crossing his expression.
I can't bypass. It'll fire.
Collapsible circuit.
Yeah, shit. This thing is airtight.
Harry's thinking when Robin enters and moves towards him with a printout, speaking.
Howard Fisk, Atlanta PD bomb squad, retired to Sun Valley in 1989 when a small charge left him with fingers numbering 9.
And on that last word, she reaches Harry, turning the printout for him to see Fisk's picture staring us all in the face.
That's our scumbag. Jack, we found him.
We can get to his place inside of 15 minutes.
Jack, get out of there and sit tight. We're going after the source.
Watch your back.
Harry jumps up and they move out.
Mac, pull me out.
Roger that, kid. Hold on.
Angle on the tire that was scraped up by the claw. A piece of outer rubber peels off and flies into the dolly wheel, which catches and stops. Jack, as the dolly is almost pulled out from under him. The cable is running past him now, skittling over the pavement, sparking, whipping around, and it's heading for a rear wheel. If the cable gets pulled under the tire, Jack reaches for the cable. To pull it back, it's too late. The cable hits the wheel and is sucked under in a flash. Jack and the dolly are snapped forward on the wheel. Interior of the bus.
Good!
Did we hit him? What happened?
He's not behind.
Annie and Gigantor look at each other. They're dragging him. Ortiz races for the central panel and starts unscrewing it. Mac's airport vehicle moves alongside the bus, and Mac tries to see what's happened to Jack. He looks pretty concerned. Under the bus, Jack tries to get a grip on the undercarriage, but his fingers can't find purchase, so he grabs the screwdriver and stabs it into the undercarriage. It digs in. He stops, and the dolly is yanked out from under him. The dolly hits a real wheel and is pulled under and destroyed. Jack holds onto the screwdriver. Liquid sprays down on him. He coughs. He reaches out and grabs the hydraulic line and pulls himself away from the spray. His shoes skid over pavement at 50 miles per hour. Jack looks around and sees light coming from the hole in the floor 3 feet away. He reaches for the hole. He can't make it.
Hey!
Gigantor sticks his head down.
Man, can you reach me?
He reaches for Jack, but there's no way.
Hold my legs.
Interior of the bus. Terry and Ray grab Ortiz's legs. Stevens and Miss Camino grab them. Under the bus, Ortiz is halfway through the hole and he reaches for Jack.
Come on.
He grabs him and Jack lets go of the screwdriver. He grabs Ortiz's shoulder. Interior bus. Slowly, painfully, Jack is pulled in. He's hunched over in pain.
Thanks.
Are you okay?
Any luck with the bomb?
Yeah, it didn't go off.
Gigantor dusts him off. Oddly enough, he's smiling.
You may be a psycho man, but you've got some big round balls.
That's very gross, Ortiz.
He goes over to Annie.
Even pay the guy a compliment.
How you doing?
Oh, you scared the shit out of me, Jack. Other than that, I'm pretty lousy. What's that smell?
It's gas.
We're leaking gas?
We are now.
What, you needed a challenge?
Angle on the gas gauge. It starts dropping, barely perceptibly. Mac on the back of the airport vehicle is relieved when he sees Jack surface inside the bus. He gives a thumbs up sign to Jack as his vehicle falls back. Exterior street. Harry's car is in another unmarked fire up on the street with much attendant screeching. Interior bus. Jack and Annie nervously regard the gas gauge.
Mac, can you get a fuel truck to pace us here? We're losing gas.
I'll see what I can find. How much time?
I don't know. 10 minutes? It's not good.
Is that gonna work?
I don't know. Come on, Harry. Save my life.
Cut to exterior suburban house. Harry and the others pull up quietly across the street. He and Robin emerge from his car and two other SWAT guys from the second car. One is SWAT cop number 1. They go to the front of the house in standard formation. They stop at the windows by the garage. The Venetian blinds are still down. We can't see in. Harry motions for two to go around the back. He takes Robin around the side. There's a door here. Robin is about to try the knob, but Harry grabs her hand and shakes his head. He motions for her to go around the back, which she does. He tries the window and it gives. It's clean, no wires. Harry goes in first and climbs slowly. Pulling his wounded leg in, he gets in. Interior house. Harry is in the living room, headed for the garage. We see Robin come silently in through the back window. Motion for the other two to wait outside. She and Harry both start converging on the garage. Looking around them, guns raised. Harry looks down at his leg just as it trips an electric eye in the doorway. The electric eye is wired to something. A red light goes on. Harry and Robin look at each other, knowing it's the last thing they'll ever see. Exterior house. The explosion blasts out the window, sending the other two flying wounded. The last thing we see are the Venetian blinds as they're shredded when that window is also blown out. Cut to interior bus. Angle on Jack's phone. It rings.
Harry, tell me good news, man.
There's a pause, and Jack knows.
Sorry, Jack. He didn't make it.
You fuck.
Intercut with interior Fisk's room.
It was the watch that led him to me, wasn't it? He felt a little, hammy to me, holding the bomb from my previous retirement gift. But I figured a sign that said, I'm Howard Fisk would be pushing it.
As he speaks, he opens the Venetian blinds. We look out on Pershing Square. He was never in the house at all.
I'm gonna rip your fucking spine out, I swear to God.
You'll do as you're told. Now Harry's gone. Just accept it. Jack, Jack, we both know he was the brains of your particular operation. You're not going to beat me. You're not going to pay me all my dollars. Otherwise, you, the wildcat, and every innocent soul that is on that bus is going to end up just like your friend. Now pay attention. Are you listening?
Yes.
Good. Tell them the drop point is Pershing Square. There's a garbage can on the northeast corner. Dump the bags and leave. I don't show up until your people are gone, and I don't disarm until I'm clear. Getting on toward 11, Jack. I think it's going to be a pretty good day.
Interior of the bus. He hangs up, and Jack smashes the phone against a pole, furious. Everybody stares at him, and he leans against the front window, seething.
Jack?
He throws the remains of the phone to the floor, unable to respond.
God damn it, Jack, don't you fold on me now.
He whips his head around and stares at her.
Just cool it, okay? We're scared. We need you. I need you. With a clear head, I know this guy's hurting you, and I'm sorry, and we still have a problem here, so stop doing the asshole dance and be part of the solution.
He still stares, but she's drawn the fire out. Everybody is staring at him, and he smiles winningly at Annie.
We're gonna die.
We got this far.
He falls silent again. His gaze goes from her face to her shirt, the Arizona t-shirt. For a moment, he looks almost puzzled. Angle on the shirt. Beneath the Arizona is a picture of a wildcat.
I'll be damned.
Jack kneels by her, dabbing her brows, speaking softly.
You go to University of Arizona?
Yeah.
Good football team.
Yeah.
Arizona Wildcats. They went 9 straight wins last year.
Right.
Jack just smiles.
He can see you.
She starts to ask, but he shushes her. Standing and leaning against again on the windshield. Slowly, he looks around at the front of the bus. His point of view searches for it. And there it is, behind the big convex mirror with a view of the whole bus. The thin wires, the red light, a camera. We push in on it. Interior Fisk's room and pull out. Looking at the camera's point of view on a small black and white screen next to Fisk's other TVs. We pull out further to see he has all eyes flit from screen to screen, resting on the black and white image. On the screen, Jack kneels once again by Annie. Interior bus.
He called you a wildcat before. I didn't even pick up on it. Bastard has a camera right in your face. He can see the whole bus. He's been playing me from minute 1.
He's looking at me. Can he hear me?
Doesn't look like it. He's just watching.
What do I do?
Nothing. Act scared.
What's my motivation?
Jack strides to the back of the bus, talking into his throat mic.
Mac, you there?
Hoy, I'm so sorry. Jack, how much longer can we circle?
He holds up a finger to shush her as Mac gets on the line. Exterior airport. Mac arrives at the base camp.
Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
Interior bus.
Mac, I know about Harry. Listen, there's no time. Is that news van still around? Good. It's time for a little turnabout.
Cut to exterior by news van a minute later. Mac and a few other cops rush to the van.
LAPD, we need this shit. Can you broadcast on a UHF frequency? Sure. Good. There's a signal coming from that bus. Find it.
The crew guy starts turning dials. After some snow, the shot of the bus appears on one of his screens.
Good. Tap off this. Tape off
The
this.
crew
Yeah.
guy sticks in a tape and hits record. An angry reporter steps in.
Hey, this is private property. You can't just take it.
Yeah, why don't you call a cop?
Interior of the bus. Jack is sitting near the front. Everyone is sitting, looking tense.
Remember, no big movements. Just look whipped.
That's not going to be too hard.
And we pan along the bus, picking up everyone's face as they try to appear casually despondent. We pass Jack and Annie and close in on the fuel gauge. Is it picking up speed? Under the bus, we see the screwdriver is jolting looser and looser, and the leak grows. The newsman, Mac, and the others watch on the bus on the screen. Interior of the bus. Annie notices the fuel gauge as it drops below a quarter tank.
Jack,
What?
our leak has sprung a leak. We gotta get off.
Slowly, Jack brings the walkie-talkie to his face.
McMahon, fuel.
5 minutes.
Mrs. Camino drops her purse, nervous. She doesn't know if she should pick it up. She sits nervously.
Not enough time. Run the tape. We have to unload.
We only got a minute of...
Just do it.
Run it. Run it on the loop.
He starts pressing buttons in. Interior Fisk's loft. The image plays on the TV. Sounds of Fisk flushing inside. A slight jump on the image just before Fisk sits down. Watches. The tape is now playing. Interior of the bus. Jack looks back and forth between his watch and the gas gauge.
Come on.
Then he looks over and sees an airport truck. Pulls alongside the bus. Mac and SWAT cops. The left rear wheel of the bus. The outside wheel. More rubber is peeling off. It's gonna pop any second. Interior bus. Jack strides to the back doors.
Okay, Annie.
Annie flips a switch. The back emergency door opens and Mac tosses the length of a 2x4 and some rope to Jack.
Rig the gas pedal and steering wheel.
Gotcha.
Insert Fisk TV. The taped image of inside the bus. Quiet and calm. Interior bus. Intense activity as the passengers line up to get off. The left rear tire rubber is peeling off, flapping on the pavement. Interior bus. Jack stands on the back steps. The first passenger to get off is Mrs. Camino. Jack ushers her off into the arms of Norwood. Annie is steering and trying to tie off the wheel.
Next, let's go. Annie, how you doing?
I'm doing.
Bus and truck. More women get off the bus, followed by Terry and Ortiz. The left rear tire, big strips are peeling off, seconds from a blowout. Insert Fist TV monitor. Shows the bus calm and quiet. On the bus, Jack is helping Terry off. Stevens is about to step across the left rear tire. The tread peels off completely. Annie gasps as the steering wheel spins, wrenched from her grip. The bus swerves hard away from the truck, and Stevens in the stairwell doesn't know what to do. He panics and jumps for the truck.
Stevens.
Jack grabs for him and misses. Bus and truck. Stevens' upper body reaches the truck. He swings under and slipping. Ortiz is the closest to him. He grabs for Stevens' hand and gets it. Stevens' feet are skidding on the pavement, dangerously close to the rear wheels. Stevens and Ortiz look between them, and Steven grins with relief.
Okay, man, pull.
They just pull him up in time. They smile at their victory, all except Stevens himself, who looks like he has vomit on his mind. On the bus, Annie fights to regain control of the steering. The bus veers towards the airline terminals. On the bus, Annie and Jack look ahead.
Oh no, Jack.
Oh.
Their point of view, the terminals. Annie is about to steer back into the runway. On the truck, the passengers watch in horror as the bus angles off.
Oh, please, God, no.
Come on, man. You can do it.
Interior of the bus.
Wedge down the pedal. Hurry.
Jack goes back and picks up the 3x5 floor panel he took off the floor. The bus tears along the runway. On the bus, Jack maneuvers the floor panel down the hole, letting it out on a length of rope. The other end of the rope is tied to the seat support. Under the bus, the edge of the panel touches the speeding pavement, bounces and splinters. Interior bus, Annie finishes tying off the steering wheel and wedging down on the gas pedal.
Done.
They hear an eerie choking sound and then silence, out of gas. Insert speedometer. It's dropping. 58, 57.
Go.
Annie gets out of the driver's seat and hurries to Jack. He helps her down into the hole. The bus is headed for a small jet whose engines have been stripped for repair. Under the bus, a wood panel is skidding over the pavement. Sparks are flying off. Annie gets down onto it. Interior bus. The rope and 2x4 are holding. Jack takes one last look ahead. His point of view, the wing of the small jet comes smashing through the windshield and rips through the side of the bus, coming right at us, nearly decapitating Jack as he jumps down through the hole. Under the bus, and crouches on the sled, and he and Annie holding on to each other back on the bus. Jack and Annie blast out from underneath the bus in a shower of sparks. Interior. The rope starts to loosen on the steering wheel. Exterior. It starts to veer off towards the airplane hangar, and Jack and Annie slide to a stop against a large blinking runway sign. They look up. The bus towards the huge door of the open airplane hangar and disappears inside. Interior hangar. The bus rolls under the wings of a Park 747 between other jumbos and careens out the other side of the hangar. An empty DC-10 cargo plane is towed along the runway by a tow truck. Insert speedometer. Plunges to 50. The bomb red light goes on and the bus explodes. While still rolling into a healthy 49 miles an hour, whichever part of it can still roll plows into the DC-10, which explodes. A huge fireball and shower of metal. Jack and Annie cover their heads as debris rains down. He's on top of her, and finally it stops. Annie looks at the flaming carcass. Jack looks at Annie. After a moment, she looks back at him.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Another moment, and he still hasn't gotten off her. The moment between them is intimate. Annie is about to burst into tears.
You're not gonna say something mushy, are you?
What? Well, maybe.
He gets off her and they stand. For a moment, she falls against him, but she rights herself. They head for the ambulance.
You know, relationships based on intense experiences never last. I read extensively on this.
You thought that was intense? I do this every day. I think I broke my spleen.
Cut to angle on the ambulance as it races up to Jack and Annie. Medics pop out, start patching them up. Annie is still talking to Jack. Mac comes up to them.
How you doing?
Jack and Annie look at each other, almost laughing. They look back at Mac as if to say, "Meh."
Well, maybe I'll let you have the rest of the day off.
Ah. Mac, this is Annie. Annie, Captain McMahon.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
It's a slightly awkward moment and feels like introducing your girlfriend to your dad. Norwood runs up to Mac with a phone. Norwood
Yes.
runs up to Mac with a phone.
Norwood does run up to Matt with the phone, and it's him. He wants to know when he's gonna get his money.
Thank you, Norwood. That son of a bitch. I'll tell him what he can do with it. He can do something with it.
Realization blooms in Jack's face. He puts a hand over Mac's.
He doesn't know it blew up.
Mac pauses, stone-faced. He brings up the phone to his ear.
20 minutes?
Cut to Pershing Square. The cops finalize their preparations. Undercover cops move here and there, signaling to each other. Exterior roof of the Biltmore Hotel. Snipers take position. Exterior near the square. The ambulance pulls up, no lights or sirens, and Jack gets out. Other undercover police cars are nearby, and cops rush quietly to and fro. Interior barbershop. Mac is setting up his command post. Interior ambulance. Annie has just finished being patched up. She steps out of the ambulance to watch Jack's receding figure, her face etched with concern. Interior Fisk's room. He looks down on the square, his point of view on the street. A garbage truck pulls up next to the can on the northwest corner. A cop dressed as a garbage man gets out, deposits 2 bags in the garbage, and drives on. Fisk looks more carefully around the square. Again, from his point of view, we can see a cop running behind a doorway a block away, a sniper crouching low on a roof. He smiles and heads for the door. He stops at the TV that shows Jack and the others still circling the bus.
Too bad, Jack. You probably would have made a good cop.
On the screen, Mrs. Camino drops her purse. There's a glitch. The purse is in her hands. The Fisk stares at the TV, eyes wide. A scream rises in his throat before it comes out. We cut to the square. Jack, Mac, and Norwood look out from the storefront. Exterior near the square. Annie is standing by the ambulance, still looking in Jack's general direction. Cops run to and fro, some keeping pedestrians back. A SWAT cop comes up to Annie.
Miss, we can't have you this close. You have to move back.
But Jack,
Officer Travin asked for you to be brought out of harm's way. You just have to move back.
Relenting, she turns to the cop. It's Howard Fisk. She smiles as he leads her away. She doesn't know. Exterior square, later.
I know.
The can stands alone on the northeast corner. Interior storefront. Jack is becoming increasingly agitated.
He's running a little late.
Jack looks at his watch, 11:02.
He's not late.
What?
He's never late.
That money hasn't moved. We've got 200 eyes on that can. We've got a homing beacon on the bags. He's covered.
Turn it on.
What for? He's not even...
Do it.
Norwood does and looks down. Angle on the homing device. The bags are moving.
Shit.
Jack bolts for the can.
Jack.
Cut to exterior square. Jack dashes across the street. He runs to the garbage cans, pushes them over, and below where the garbage can stood, there's a jagged hole in the concrete opening up into the utility access tunnel.
Son of a bitch.
Interior tunnel. Jack hang drops down into the tunnel. He hears the sounds of hurrying footsteps down the tunnel. Jack pulls the gun from his waistband and takes off after the sound. Further down the tunnel, someone runs, holding bags of money, and Jack pulls out his Glock and draws a bead.
Freeze. Turn around.
The person stops.
Pop quiz, asshole. I got a hair trigger aimed at your brain and I'm in a really shitty mood. What do you do?
The person turns, face coming to the light. It's Annie. She's very scared. Jack incredulous. Annie opens up the jacket she's wearing to reveal 10 pounds of C4 strapped to her chest.
Christ.
An emergency door on the side of the tunnel opens. Fisk steps out, holding a dead man's stick.
Be prepared. That's the Boy Scouts marching song.
I'm sorry, Jack.
What do you do, Jack? Can't shoot her.
Let her go.
I don't think I'm gonna do that.
He has a bag, which he drops at Annie's feet.
Fill it. I think Harry would be disappointed finding us right back where we started.
Let her go. You got the money. Take it and walk. You don't need her.
You still don't understand, Jack, the beauty of it. A bomb is made to explode. That's its meaning, its purpose. Your life is empty because you spend it trying to stop the bomb from becoming and what it is. And for what? For who? You don't know what a bomb is, Jack. It doesn't explode. That's a cheap gold watch.
You're crazy.
Annie finishes filling the bag and Fisk takes it.
Poor people are crazy, Jack. I'm eccentric.
Let her go.
Fisk looks at Jack almost fondly. Then he bolts through the door with Annie, slamming it shut behind him. Jack runs up to the door. Interior tunnel. Jack tries the door. It's locked. He aims his gun and blows the door handle to pieces. He tugs the door open and light floods in. Jack steps through the door and is very surprised to find himself in a subway station. He's on the upper level, not many people around. Someone runs up the stairs, looking frightened. Jack down the stairs. Interior subway platform. People are shying away from Fisk and Annie as they make their way along the platform. He has his gun out and she's wearing bombs. People start getting off the subway, heading for the stairs. Fisk pulls Annie to the first car. Interior car. 3 people sitting. Smiles at one of them.
Is the seat taken?
Everyone clears off. All the cars are empty now as the doors close and the train starts moving. Interior platform. Jack runs down the stairs yelling. Sprints along the platform as the train starts pulling out of the station. He jumps. Just grabs the end of the 4th car. Interior subway train. Fisk handcuffs Annie to a vertical hand pole. He hands her the dead man's stick.
You don't want to drop this. I'm counting on you.
He moves to the front of the car as the driver starts out of the compartment.
What's going on here?
Fisk shoots 4 times, point blank, sends him flying back into the compartment. 2 of the shot blasts hit the control panel. Annie cries out. Interior 2nd car. Crouching, Jack is making his way to the 1st car, leaving the connecting doors open as he goes. He peers into the 1st car as Fisk finishes shooting, just in time to see him retrieve the dead man's stick. Fisk smiles at Annie as he takes it.
Maybe I better hold this after all. I'm afraid you're a little hysterical and might let go a little early, if you will. I mean, it's not because you're a woman.
He heads for the back and almost sees Jack. With nowhere to go, Jack climbs to the top of the car. Fisk looks out at the other cars.
Looks like we're all alone. Nobody wanted this train.
You can let me go. You won. You beat Jack. You beat everyone. Throw me off the train. I don't care. Only let me go.
He speaks to her softly.
The stick works on a remote. See, when you explode, that's where they'll come. But it's not where I'll be. Mess like that, they don't even count the body parts. Gives me time.
He brushes her hair from her face.
It's not gonna hurt, Annie.
On top of the train, pipes and concrete ceilings whip by Jack's head. He checks his gun and red conduit pipes rips from his fingers. Interior car. Fisk and Annie hear the gun bouncing off the top of the car. Fisk looks up, smiles a little wildly.
Is that you, Jack? He's persistent. He always gets his man.
He grabs the bag of money, opens it, and looks up again.
Don't suppose you'd be interested in a bribe, would you? Well, I got plenty to go around.
Inside the bag, a dye pack explodes. Fisk looks down at his now useless money. Some of the dye dripping like blue shadows on his face. He screams. Still roaring, Fisk whips out his gun and pumps around into the ceiling. On top of the train, Fisk's bullets come up all around Jack, the last one ripping into his arm. He clutches it in agony. In the train, Fisk keeps firing until the gun clicks repeatedly. Even then, it's hard for him to stop. On top of the train, no more shots. Fisk must be out of bullets. Jack starts inching for the back of the car. Fisk is right behind him. Unchecked fury mars his face more than the eerie dye. All semblance of control is gone. Roaring, he slams his fist into Jack's face. He's practically foaming at the mouth, hitting Jack with the hand that holds the dead man's stick. Jack is helpless. He's wounded and Fisk has the stick. He feebly tries to defend himself. Fisk is on his knees over Jack. He starts hitting Jack in his arm wound. Jack nearly blacks out from pain.
What do you do, Jack? What do you do? You're so smart, right, Jack? You're a little piece of shit. I got the plan. I'm smarter than you. I am smarter than you.
Jack's point of view is blurred, shifting. There's light on the ceiling. They're tearing through another station. Jack suddenly pulls back his leg and slams it into Fisk's solar plexus. Fisk flies back, standing straight up on his knees, and a red conduit pipe meets his face. Something round bounces along the top of the train like a tin can discarded along the freeway. Fisk's hand clenched in a literal death grip over the stick. It starts to loosen, and Jack grabs the hand at the last second, closing it, taking the stick before Fisk's body even hits the top of the train. Jack holds the stick, out of breath.
Yeah, well, I'm taller.
Interior train. Annie turns warily at the sound of a door sliding open. Relief. It's Jack.
Fisk.
By way of reply, he holds the dead man's stick up, almost smiling. Annie looks very relieved.
He lost his head.
He takes off her vest and diffuses the C4 and neutralizes the dead man's stick. Goes to the driver's compartment. Interior compartment sparks. The equipment was shot to shit. Jack sees the braking controls, flips the switches, nothing. Grabs the speed dial lever and tries to pull it back towards the left, but it won't budge. It's jammed up. He pushes it forward, the train goes faster. He tries the radio mic, it's dead. Jack runs back into the passenger compartment.
Come on, we gotta jump.
She shows him her handcuffs.
Shit.
You can't stop it?
He pulls at the handcuffs and pulls at her wrist. He tries to unscrew the pole with a knife. Nothing. The train barrels down the tunnel. Jack goes apeshit. He kicks the pole, screaming with effort. Again and again, he pulls at it. Pulls her till her wrists bleed.
No!
He stops. Her eyes are wet.
Jack, you have to get off.
No way. He looks up at the map. There's a big curve and then a dead end.
Jack, listen to me. The end of this line is solid rock. You have to jump, goddammit. I'm ordering you, go.
He looks at her.
Faster.
Going to the... Sorry. I got excited.
Faster?
I said faster.
That's not your line.
Look, the only way to stop this thing is to make it go faster. There's a curve up ahead. We go fast enough, we might jump the track, hit something besides a dead end.
Interior driver's compartment. Turns the knob hard right, comes back out.
This is bullshit, Jack. You have to get off this train. Jack! Jack!
He says nothing. Comes up to the pole she's at, holds on, braces himself. She falls silent as well. Drops her cuffs around him and holds him tight. They wait. The train roars along the track. Interior Highland Station, still under construction. At the end of the station, the track dead ends into a rock face. Jack and Annie brace themselves.
Come on, let's go.
Exterior train. Barreling through the station, it's going way too fast, but it's holding the tracks. Jack and Annie, jarred by the rough ride. The lights flicker on and off. Smoke from overheated engines rise into the car. Interior tunnel. The construction crews are fleeing. A truck speeds off the up-ramp, hauling dirt out. The train hits the curve. The train wheels spark on the rails and screech. Jack and Annie, eyes shut, holding tight. The train, with Jack and Annie, skids sideways up the ramp. Steel shears the car in half. The front half continues to skid and roll up the ramp. And exterior Hollywood Boulevard, the train, it appears, above ground, like a breaching whale, skidding and crashing and finally resting on its side in front of the Chinese theater. It's to the amazement of dazzled onlookers, Jack and Annie visible through the now open back of the car. Cut to interior of the train. Jack and Annie sit up, find they're all right. The pole has been wrenched from the ceiling and Jack pulls Annie's hands free. They suddenly kiss, desperately alive.
You didn't leave me. You didn't leave. My God.
I didn't have anywhere to be just then.
How boring.
What?
How boring are you? I mean, is it really scary?
I watch bowling on TV.
Okay.
Sometimes when I watch bowling, I get excited and I cheer.
Oh, well.
Annie, it's over. You can walk away.
She takes his hand and quickly and gently kicks the other cuff off him, joining them.
Whatever you say, ma'am.
And they sit a while. Tourists with cameras arrive on the scene, train their cameras on the kissing pair. Fade out. The end.
Well done, everyone. Oh my god. This movie is
Okay,
so
first of all,
ridiculous.
can I legit get mad about how everyone said that I was a serial killer in the comments?
You're so committed. It's so scary.
Just such
It
a
was
great
great.
actor.
It was so good.
Guys, I'm bored. I'm sorry. I just want to
No, we love it. We love it. It's fantastic. Everybody did a great job. If you're watching, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time for Speed 2, Cruise Control, followed by Speed 3, Electric Boogaloo.